Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm CCSOC Gamer bringing you another video. And today I want to talk to you guys about some interesting stuff that has been going on these last couple of weeks. The things I'll be discussing here in this video is we have our first look at Johnny Cage for the upcoming Mortal Kombat 2 movie, which is set to be coming out in October. We have some first look thoughts about what they are planning on doing for Shrek 5. And I also want to be talking to you guys about some Marvel post-credit stuff and filming dates for the upcoming movies. Because after Captain America Brave New World, there is a lot of conversation going around there. I also will be giving you my review for the Cobra Kai finale, because I finished those episodes and I want to give you guys my personal thoughts. So without further ado, let's get into this. So first off, I want to talk to you guys about this update they have for Shrek 5. So, interestingly, these last couple of weeks, we have been getting so many things going around social media that Zendaya is in the talks of playing Shrek's daughter in the upcoming movie, which I think is very interesting, because if that is what they're doing for the movie, this is going to take a really big gap after what happened in the fourth film. Shrek's kids will probably be like 12 to 13 years old now, if that's like the age route that they want to take for the movie. But with Zendaya actually saying that she grew up loving Shrek, and in the talks of playing Shrek's daughter, Felicia, that might show you that DreamWorks is kind of getting this movie very hyped for us to like actually want to see. And if Zendaya actually gets the role, you can guarantee I'm going to see Shrek 5. Especially if their kids are going to be like older now. That will be very interesting to see. But not only was that announced, there have been some other rumors going around that there is a possibility that Farquaad will be coming back in the fifth movie, which, in hindsight, that does seem like a good idea. You bring back the villain that caused Shrek to go on this whole journey in the first place to rescue Fiona, and someone resurrects Farquaad and he starts causing mayhem again. That will definitely bring some hype for the movie, because the first villain that started this whole journey for Shrek is back, and Farquaad would probably want to have revenge on him for after what he did at his kingdom. And now, for Mortal Kombat 2, we have officially gotten our first look at Johnny Cage, who is played by Karl Urban in the new movie that is coming out in this October. And that does show you that they are kind of starting to get the marketing up for the movie itself. Yeah, like right here, you see this poster of Johnny Cage that says Uncaged Fury, and the studio that brought you Rebel Without a Cage. That definitely shows what Karl Urban will be looking like as Johnny Cage, which I think is a very good design. But I do remember going back to where the first movie came out and they showed Johnny Cage in before the credits rolled, or like a poster for Citizen Cage. A lot of people have been questioning who could be the right person to play a Johnny Cage in this movie. And my first thought, it would probably have to be Ryan Reynolds, because I'm sure with Johnny Cage's personality in the games, it seems like Ryan would be a good choice for a Johnny Cage. And after like seeing him having such R-rated materials for Deadpool, and have that annoying behavior as Johnny does. It seemed like he could have been the right choice, but I sure do hope Karl Urban nails it as Johnny Cage, because if not, a lot of people are not going to be happy. But they also mentioned that in this movie they're not really going to be focusing with Cole Young's character that was introduced in the first movie, because a lot of people didn't really like Cole Young so much. I personally thought that it was okay. Introduce a new character, and his abilities were really cool for the second to half end of the movie. But you bring in a new character that you've never introduced in any of the games, it brings a lot of question on why they decide to do that. So that might make some people happy, but I just hope they don't totally just toss Cole away in this movie, because it seems like they will be having him for the movie itself, but not sure how big of a role he'll be playing in this second film. And this movie will definitely lead up to the tournament actually happening. They did kind of set that up a little bit in the first movie, but they didn't actually show too much of the fights until the very end, which seemed like most people would say it's a big flop. But this one we'll actually get to see Shao Kahn for the first time, which I am looking forward to seeing what he actually looks like in the movie. And with the movie coming out in October, hopefully they've gotten some filming done, because I really want to see a trailer for that movie and actually get to see what all of the other characters look like, so I can get a feeling of how I feel about the movie. Now, I want to talk to you guys about some of the post-credit scene loose ends that they have been showing a lot lately. Because if you guys have seen Captain America Brave New World and seen the post-credit scene, a lot of people are not really liking what they showed for that. And some people are excited because it teases that Doomsday and Secret Wars are coming soon, and it can get us hyped for that. But you look back to all of the other shows and movies that they've had for Phase 4 and 5, there are so many loose ends that have not been tied up yet. So the first one would be Captain America, or the Falcon and Winter Soldier. The post-credits scene that they have for that, Sharon Carter is the power broker and is evil now. They didn't really show that too much for the next Captain America movie, which seemed like it would probably be a total waste, and it seems like something like that would not be introduced for a while after these upcoming movies, which is something that definitely seems like a loose end. And Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, you remember the post-credits scene. Shang-Chi and his friend, they go to Wong's temple, where they have a talk with Banner and Captain Marvel about the 10 rings and how the rings were sending out a beacon to someone or something. And that is where they started building up Kang and Kang Dynasty. But after the events of Jonathan Majors, it's hard to know how they're going to be tying that up. That beacon could have probably been Monica Rambeau in the other dimension sending out a signal, but she's in a different universe, so I don't know how that would possibly work. But that seems like another loose end that they gotta try to tie up. The Eternals, of course, the one post-credit scene where we get to see a Harry Styles as Eros, or as some people would like to call him, Star Fox, introduced as Thanos' brother, and after seeing how Eternals kind of flopped a little bit, and a lot of people didn't really like it, you can guarantee that Eternals 2 will probably not be happening. And it seems like introducing Harry Styles as Eros almost seemed like a little bit of a waste at this point. And then the second post-credit scene for the Eternals, where Shuri's new fiance opens up a case with a black sword that gives him the powers of the Black Knight, which is another hero that has been shown in the comics. And that's where we hear Mahershala Ali's Blade. And after seeing all of these news reports that Blade's delayed again and all of that stuff, I'm questioning on how well they're going to be tying that up, or if Blade is even going to be happening anymore, because they still are doing so many rewrites for the script, and Mahershala Ali does not seem to like any of these scripts. So, yeah, it's something to look forward to, but I would love for them to still make a Blade movie, but as long as everyone's on board with it, they've got to get that straight. Doctor Strange, that would definitely get tied up, because after seeing the official news that Strange is going to be in Doomsday and Secret Wars, they gotta pay off that post-credits scene for Multiverse of Madness. Thor Love and Thunder, I do know there are some people that did not like that movie so much, and they did introduce Hercules in the post-credits scene, which I thought was really exciting. You get to introduce another hero that is part of the Greek mythology, and a hero that has not been introduced yet. It's something that could get paid off, but after what happened with Love and Thunder, I'm pretty sure they would probably be finding a different director for it. And some people point out that they could have the director for Furiosa be the one to make a fifth Thor movie. And after seeing Furiosa, I can probably see how he could make that fight with Thor and Hercules realistic if they do decide to make a fifth movie for Thor. And even Chris Hemsworth is saying how much he loves playing Thor in the MCU, and I'm sure he would love to continue playing Thor in upcoming movies, and would most likely be in Doomsday and Secret Wars. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Ryan Coogler definitely did give us an emotional post-credit scene, but that post-credit scene, I think that will definitely get paid off, because with so many reports going around that they're wanting to find someone to be a new T'Challa, they can probably stick with that post-credits scene, and when the merge happens and all these worlds come together, they can introduce a different Black Panther from a different universe, and then maybe try to make something out of that. And they could probably just cast whoever they wanted to be for a new Black Panther. Quantumania, that seemed like a total waste of a post-credit scene. it did kind of set up a little bit more about Kang Dynasty, showing these other versions of Kang, but after hearing all of the stuff that happened with Majors, it seems like that post-credit scene's not going to get paid off. And even with all of these rumors going around that Marvel could be in the talks of bringing back Jonathan Majors as Kang, which, in my opinion, if they wanted to pull that post-credit scene off for Quantumania and have Jonathan Majors back, they would... I think the best scenario would be have Doom kill all of those members of the King Council, because they first thought of doing Kang for the next villain, and then after what happened with Majors, and they decided to go with Dr. Doom, it seems like it would just be a total waste if they just decided to throw Doom away and just bring back Majors as Kang. So if they wanted to pay that post-credit scene off, you can have Majors in there as the council, but have Doom kill them, and then have Doom just be the next big bad guy for the MCU for Secret Wars and Doomsday. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That 2 post-credit scenes in that movie. The first one showed Rocket with the new members of the Guardians doing a mission at the end. If they wanted to pay that off, they could most likely be doing a not a TV series, maybe like a prequel to like show them doing a first mission together. That could be the one way to pay that one off. And then with Peter Quill now on Earth, saying the legendary Star-Lord will return. The best way to pull that one off is to have Quill stay on Earth, and when the merge happens and he sees all the worlds coming together, he goes to his friends there on Earth and tell them, the Guardians are a dial away from me. I can call them, and I'm totally game to fight this. Let's go save the world. That would most likely be the best way to pay that off. The Marvels, do I even have to say it? After the movie totally flopped, a lot of people did not like to see that movie, but that post-credits scene that they had definitely seems like it could be paid off, because it brings Monica to a different universe where the X-Men are the heroes in that universe, and you get to see Monica's mom as Photon in that. So that post-credit scene could possibly get paid off, but I just don't know how well it'll pay off. I think it just depends on what they have in store for Doomsday and Secret Wars. No post-credits scene for Deadpool and Wolverine for the future projects, but there have been some rumors going around that Deadpool and Wolverine will be in those movies, but for Doomsday, they're going to have smaller roles, which I think totally makes sense, because it seems like Doomsday should be focusing with our heroes from Earth 616, and Doom comes into their world, and as the movie starts picking up, then they start bringing in the heroes from these other universes into our Earth. That seems like the best way for them to bring Deadpool and Wolverine in there. And then I will be getting into spoilers for Captain America Brave New World, because it has been out since yesterday. So if you haven't seen it, maybe skip this one and go to the next topic. But for Brave New World, you get to see Sam Wilson talking with the leader in the raft. And this is where people said, this seems so stupid of a post-credit scene, and feels like Sony Marvel related post-credit scene. But you hear the leader telling Captain America that he has foresee that all of these worlds and heroes are going to be coming to their world, and they're going to be willing to fight for each of their parts of the world. Now, that definitely seems a little bit stupid to be saying it that way, but for us big Marvel fans, that definitely shows that he knows that Doomsday is coming, and so many worlds are going to be colliding with each other, and so many heroes are going to be in this one big world. So, might pull off for Doomsday, because the leader will probably be right with all of these worlds and heroes coming together. But I think they could have just have the dialogue a little bit better. And now for the filming dates for the upcoming movies for Marvel have been going around lately. Let me see if I could pull it up in here. I can tell you right now, they have officially announced that they will start filming Avengers Doomsday in March, which I am really excited about, because as that continues on with the shooting and all that, they can actually show us on-set photos of the people that are going to be part of that movie, which is a question I am asking myself regardless. But the heroes that I can officially say that are going to be part of this are Spider-Man, Strange, Bucky, and Captain America. Those are the 4 that I can officially confirm. Because with the news that Tom Holland will be filming this movie along with Spider-Man 4 and Odyssey around this same year, he's going to be totally busy with shooting. But yeah, Spider-Man 4 will begin filming in the summer of 2025, which could give him some time to do his roles for Avengers Doomsday and get that out of the way. And for Secret Wars, they're not doing back-to-back like they did with Infinity War and Endgame. I think for Secret Wars, they are planning on starting to film that in the summer of 2026, which totally makes sense, because with Secret Wars coming out in the year 2027, you film the movie in 2026, that gives you time to film all of this stuff for the movie and actually get the editing and all of that stuff done before you can totally release it. It seems like a good idea for them. And I think for the Batman fans out there, I think they did say when they're gonna start filming the next Batman movie. Yeah. So I think Robert Pattinson is the one that announced this. The filming for the Batman Part 2 will be starting in late 2025. And with the film coming out in 2027 along with Secret Wars, that gives them time to think more about what they want to do for the movie as they're filming this, and that gives them time to put it all together before it comes out in 2027. So yeah, that will be something to look forward to. Now for my final thing, the Cobra Kai finale. If you haven't seen those last few episodes, you could probably just leave the video, because I will be getting into a lot of spoilers here. So, these last 2 days, Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 3 has officially been out on Netflix, and the episodes did kind of have that same feeling as the first 2 parts were, whereas excuse me, the first 2 episodes of those 3 parts were kind of no, those ones aren't good, to where the 3rd to 5th episode, that actually starts to pick up the excitement and hype that we have to see what's coming next. And I personally agree with that, because I think for episode 13, that's when they go back to the tournament and they have Robbie fight Axel, to where Robbie gets injured, and they introduce that Miguel and Tori are going to be the captains for Cobra Kai, and Johnny Lawrence is their sensei. And with Daniel and Samantha not wanting to fight, because they've known that they've already lost after what happened with Robbie, that does seem like the best way to go. But for episode 14, we see Tori and Miguel going up against Axel and Sarah, which I thought that those were really cool fights, especially with Tori knocking Sarah out with one kick to the face, and I think causing her 2 front teeth to be knocked out because of that, which I think that was a really cool shot, especially in slow-mo. And Miguel actually taking down Axel, which was another great shot. But episode 15 shows Johnny going up against Sensei Wolf, which I think was a good way to end it, because after seeing Johnny's story throughout Cobra Kai, he started from this nothing person after what happened from that crane kick to now becoming the best sensei to lead Cobra Kai, which won this Sekai Taikai. And it definitely shows that they definitely gave Johnny the spotlight for the very end of the movie, or the series. And I think that's a big part of this, is because Johnny hasn't really been loved so much by so many people at the beginning of this, but as the series goes on, he starts to get his family back and so many friends that he's had over these last couple of years. And they stand by his side as he wins the Sekai Taikai for Cobra Kai. So that was the best way to end off this series, because I think if they decide to make another one, it would probably just end up being the same thing. But with Karate Kid's Legends coming out this year, it'll be a 3-year gap after the events of Cobra Kai, which I think will be a little bit interesting to see how the story continues after that. But I think more details will be coming out as these months go by. That's all I have for you guys here today. Comment down below what you think of all of these topics. And if you haven't already, go down there, hit the thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time. See ya!